Hello guys, how are you doing? This is Zay for the Night Gaming, and today I'm going to show you two trailers I'm going to react to, and I'm going to explain the major differences between these two games, which a lot of people, because they're both made very beautifully, the games are. A lot of people don't understand that the differences really in between these two particular titles. And think, it's just maybe era related. So first, let's look at the Night Crows trailer, and I want to point out a few things on this trailer to you, so you could fully understand. Okay, first this is, we made in Mad Engine. It does not say We Mix on there, so it might not be an NFT game per se. Which that might be appealing to some of you and not, depending on, what you're into. Nice little awesome armor, some mounts riding around, some nice lighting there, really, really cool lighting there. Amazing skylines, awesome looking village, awesome looking night scene there. This game really, really does the scenery really well. I would not ever say anything different about that. But you'll see the one thing this is in-game footage, right? But there's one thing that they do not show here. Okay, wow, that looks fucking just amazing, okay? Most games would show what they're missing, what they've apparently left out of that trailer. Okay, so guys, do you know what they left out? Any and all combat. They left the combat out of the trailer because, well, the combat is trash. The game is boring as all hell. It went. I said there's no NFT, but that doesn't mean there's no crypto or nothing like that. I believe it might be a very heavily crypto game. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know how it would go. Or it might just be a cash shop game. But it's boring and grindy as fuck. Okay? Which some games that are grindy like Mir4 does it right. Okay? But Night Crows does not. Okay, Night Crows more is reminiscent of Mir versus Mir4. There's no fluidity in the movement. It's 3D like Mir in a way, but then blocky and less fluid, playing more like Mir. It looks good, but it doesn't play good. They have the gliding and stuff like that, where you could jump off of the high areas and glide down. But that's not even fluid movement really. It's just a gimmick almost, so you can just quick teleport to a balloon, floating panel up in the sky. What the hell does they call them? Floating platform, and jump off of it and go down to like the auto mission wherever you're going, because that's all you're going to be doing in this is auto between each and everything. The areas in which are like reminiscent of Secret Peak or Magic Square, that type of area where you would go into for XP and this and that. It's just an open field. There's nothing exciting about it at all. I mean, it's just one big open area where you just kill stuff and auto fight just like you would outside. There's no difference. There's no even real resource gathering in this particular game, or at least there wasn't when I played it last. It's just an extremely boring game. I just wanted you to, hedge your bets and understand. Now, the next game I'm going to show you, they do show combat, and it's still published by We. See, this is the thing. We is the publisher. All right, We is not technically the developer in most of their games. They're just a big Korean publisher, like that. The smaller game developers, like they have these smaller game developer, or maybe departments or whatever that are making. Like this one at the beginning, it said We and Mad Engine, right? So who are they? Those are probably the developers. All right. Now let's go to this other trailer. And we'll start it. And this is and it shows We Mix. Okay. So right away, it's one of their preparatory. My tongue is twisted. I can't say the word. It's one of their signature, it's going to be one of their signature games. This is as far as like the crypto part of the game and everything. Now, some of you might hate crypto or whatever, but it does play its role in these games. I think a game can be play to earn and fun. Of course, play to earn does equal play to win in many aspects to, the whales out there. But in games like Mir4, and like this particular game, that is where it's a mass group of players in combat, you're fighting over key areas or key, objectives, and it's alliance versus alliance. Even though there's big, huge whales, a free-to-play player that's selling stuff and earning money on the side, playing the game, can still prosper and still kick people's ass. You just have these big whales that are going to be in the middle of the battlefield that are fighting other whales. So in that essence, it just kind of balances its way around things. In my opinion, there are, like, I play Mir4. Of course, there are players that have invested a lot of money, put a lot of money, open their wallets, swipe their cards, put a lot of money into their characters, but they also can get money back out of their characters. So I just, to me, it is, it is their entertainment. So why am I to judge it? If I want to spend $100 on a game, sure, why not? If you're not paying monthly for new games, or you're not buying new games and everything, you're playing the same game every month, okay, well, invest into that game. You're enjoying it. All right, that being said, let's get back into this video. Sorry, I went on a little side rant there about the NFT, because I know some of you Western players out there are going to bitch and groan. And yes, this game probably is going to have auto into it, autoplay in it as well, which I enjoy. So whatever. It's just part of, life now. Anyway, so let's get into it. I really, this trailer is really good. So you guys got to see it. Okay. So you see, yeah, look at that. It looks beautiful as well, but it's not so serious. Like it doesn't look super ultra realistic like Nightcross, right? It looks good. It has really good graphics, but it's not ultra realism. Okay? It still looks like a cartoon in a way. All right. Okay, so you have actual player running around here, and it looks like he's running to a main quest, like point. Okay, that most likely was like just a little cinematic thing, but there's the player running, someone riding a horse, walking around. Okay, so here is a bard class. playing, and if you notice, it switches from the guitar to the harp. Okay, and I think it's because it's using different, like maybe offensive and defensive spells, and that will decide which weapon it actually uses or instrument it uses. I think the bard here is the support class, like in Mir4 is a Taoist. I think this is a support class for Legends of Ymir. But as you can see, unlike Nightcrows, this gameplay trailer has combat. That air walk, like we have in Mir4, that fluidity, that running on chasing somebody on a mount, jumping up in the air, dashing in the air, and then he can come crashing down. We don't have that in Mir4, but in here they have this just crash down, like just pow. And the way that horse just like ragdolled, this shit is hilarious. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a mini game or not. Like it could possibly be like the arm wrestling. This can also possibly be a mini game, but I'm not sure. 100%, I believe they do have fishing. Now, this isn't just like a cinematic or anything like that. Not only because you see this guy right here in the middle fishing, which seems to be the character in which they're playing. You see the one over to the right here on the shoreline is also fishing. So I believe this is there's fishing and possibly cooking into the game, which would maybe play into buffs. So I kind of like that. They have mining. They don't show any other gathering from as far as I know in this one, but they do have mining. So they have fishing, and they have like a mining, a resource gathering. So this would be leading to some kind of crafting. I hope the crafting in this particular game is way better than Mir4's crafting. Mir4's crafting is very simplistic, very dull, lackluster. The crafting, say in Zenonia, was decent. It was kind of hard in certain parts, but it was decent. The crafting and what's the last game that I checked out? Legends, Odin Valhalla Fallen. That had decent crafting, though. Again, it relied on certain parts that were the rare parts too early to make something. World of Warcraft did the same thing with certain crafting, where you had to find like some super rare like material to craft items. But still, I like a variety of crafting. You shouldn't have like just a choice of a offensive or defense weapon like in Mir4, or offense or defensive piece of armor like in Mir4. If they give you a choice where you have like 5 or so different items you can craft, it would be nice also if you can craft different items than the items you can find in the world. I really hope they do that. So you have craftable items, and then you have like loot items. Like I hope they have like a boss loot mechanic where you could find like decent weapons that are not craftable on the bosses and everything. And whereas some of the craftable items need some really rare items, so it can balance out. You can have these really awesome crafting items, or you can have this really rare drop items, and it balances itself out. I think that would be ideal for an MMORPG. So I hope this game leads more into that. Now, this here reminds me a lot about like Mir4's potential system, or like Mir M's little wheel that they have. So I think you would go to this, and it's going to open a UI up, and you would put points into like progression of your character skills, like giving it buffs and everything. It also makes me think this even more with these statues around here. You can see the statue here, 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 and there's another one here. So there's 4 statues, which would segment the 4 areas. You see like these lines. I think that would play into those areas being different, like elements or something, like are different god based, you know. Maybe this is like Odin over here, and then you put points into that. This guy has snakes and everything. Maybe, I don't know, one of these might be Loki, one might be Thor, one might be Hel. So it could really lead into like a different like form of progression as far as where you're putting your points on the spectrum. I like these kind of systems. They have them in Mir4, they have them in Mir M, they have them in a few other games. It's like Path of Exiles have a huge like skill like system like this. Those are fun. It makes your character more exciting to progress. I like it. The night, the clouds, the smoke, the fog, it looks really cool. Again, you get a look at the airwalk here. I'm going to turn down the sound just a bit because it gets very tiresome. They didn't have any audio from the game. Look at this combat here. More combat. Look at that, man. That looks really, really, really good. Get warrior with the kick there. See, I think there's actually, at first I thought there was 5 classes, but I think I meant 4 classes, but I think there's actually a 5th class that I was overlooking. I don't like these action time sequences in a cinematic. I think these are just tiresome. It should just show the really cool like combat effects and then let you play your character, right? It should just do the cinematic. I mean, it's really cool. Like, you're like, oh, look, I'm a badass. I just made you punch your friend. I also don't think the Lancer, because the Lancer has a dual wielding spears, I don't think he has a throwable. So I think that was completely cinematic. But look at that charge. Look at that combat, man. That combat is so... Oh, look at it, man. It looks so good. Look at that. Look at that. He's charging up. It's like a power hit, right? Oh, dude, that looks so good. Then we have the sorcerer here with the teleports. And then you got these action time sequences again. I mean, the cinematic looks really good, but just let me watch the cinematic and don't make me push buttons, man. Come on. Then you got the mana shield type deal. You got the fire nova. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. So I think you have two warrior type classes. Okay, I it's either, oh my God. So yeah, he's gonna call for his axe. So some of the warriors in the gameplay, look at that. You see the dash shit. That looks so good. And then he has like a roar. Here you can see a bunch of players going. Now, I believe classes are going to be gender locked. Okay, so you have your bards here. You can see girl. You have your sorcerer here. You have your spearman, sorcerer. I believe this is an actual like a berserker warrior type deal. And I think this is either a Thane or maybe like almost like a paladin. I think these are actually 2 different classes. This has less armor. This has more armor. And I think this has spells, where this has more brute strength. I could be wrong. You know, this is my guess. I think one of them has like some legit spells. And the other one is just like more about brute strength. And you can see here, you see lightning, you see all this crash, this massive PvP battle like we have in Mir4 in areas. This looks fun. And again, it's highlighting the combat. They're proud of the combat in this trailer. Unlike Nycros, where they didn't show a single second of combat because the shit is boring. And it's from somebody that played the game already. It's absolutely dreadful how boring the combat is in that game. It looks amazing, but combat wise, it's terrible. See, look, I mean, all right. So you have the berserker guy. Let's go back. You have this guy here, right? These two guys, they're like berserkers. Okay, they barely have any armor. They have the skin and everything. So these look really different than these heavier armored guys, right? You have the two lancers fighting. It looks like, or maybe they're going to be called spearmen or something. They have this effect on the spellcasters. You see what? Oh no, it did. I missed it. I'm not going to keep rewinding, but it's like a outline effect that when they cast some spells, it looks pretty cool. All right, so you have the more berserkerish looking guy there, right? He looks like the more on the warrior side. I don't see the heavier armored guy. He has a hammer. So I'm okay. So there's the more armored guy there. So it could be the same. It could just they're wearing different armor. But it seems like there's two different like brute warrior classes. Like there could be like just a berserker that's just all about physical attack, and then there's the one that's more that had like a paladin, but are more of a thane, which is more Norse, which is like say Thor, like has power of Thor, where he could call down lightning and stuff. As you saw in a big PvP fight, there was some lightning, so I'm thinking it might be like that. Then you have your bard, you have your spearman / lancer, whichever they're going to call it, and your sorceress. And I believe, I'm more than certain, they took a shortcut with these and gender locked them. Gender locking is very common in Korean games. It lets them make cosmetic outfits a lot easier as well, because then you only have to worry about making it for one gender and the animations for one gender instead of trying to make it for both. You cut down on cost. You put out the game easier and faster. I did have an issue with this gender locking thing back before I played Mir4. But after playing Mir4, I just got over it. I mean, it's just a game, man. Who cares if your character is a woman or a man in the game? It's about your class, right? So if you're playing this, you're playing your class that you like. It doesn't really matter if it's a man or a woman. If it's a chick, you get to stare at a butt all day. So it's fine with me. But I wanted to just iterate that out of the two trailers that they just released, they released this one tonight or earlier today, and they released the Night Crows earlier this week or at the end of last week. So out of these two trailers, you can definitely see where their focus is. They put together the Night Crows trailer, and all they show is scenery and atmosphere. They just want you to see how beautiful the game is, which is very easy for any modern game to pull off. If it's on Unreal 5, it's going to look good. Okay. This is going to look good. It's nothing special. They didn't show an inch of the combat because the combat is lackluster and it's boring and they went with the ultra realism. So, like, say if you're an archer, you're just pulling back the bow. Pa, pa, pa. Even you have skills, it doesn't look anything special. You're not jumping around, you're not moving around. There's no fluidity in the combat. If you're a melee character, you're just hitting whack, 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 whack. You just do like nothing special. Like, even if you push your skills, you're just doing like a lunge or something. There's no fantasy elements of the animations or anything like you just seen in Legends of Ymir. So it depends on what you favor. If you want that ultra realistic look and feel, and you don't mind being bored to death, yeah, Nightcrows is probably for you. I'm leaning more towards Legend of. I'm not leaning more to. I'm leaning way towards Legend of Ymir. I already played Nightcrows. Played it for like 2 days, and I was already had enough. It was not fun. It was not exciting. All it was beauty. It just lacked content. It lacked anything. The main story was boring. The autoplay. I can watch Mir4's autoplay and actually be entertained. At time. I could just sit and watch the autoplay in Mir4 and be like, okay, my character, it's like doing all this and that. Yeah, Nightcrows would kind of surmount. Measured up to be like a Legend Lineage M. Lineage Mobile, or was it Lineage W? One or the other, which was a very boring fucking game as well. It looked good. It had a great story to begin with, and then it was just out of there. So you leave your opinion in the comments down below. Which one of these particular games do you think is going to be the next hit? Okay. They're both coming out next year in 2024. They both should be playable then. I'm excited, to play Legends of Ymir. What are you excited to play? Which one are you going to invest your time and energy into? They're both probably going to be crypto NFT games. Though the Nightcrows did not advertise it had Wemix. So it might also just be a cash shop game, which takes the play to earn out of it. And a lot of people, why just do cash shop and a marketplace without a way to earn? It's kind of like, if you're going to make the game grindy and this and that, it should be, at least a play to earn game. If you're going to go with the typical non-crypto, non-play to earn style, make it, I don't know, easier to level or whatever. It's just like they did with, what's that game that it's coming out next month, man. So they took out all the auto. They shrunk down the leveling to 10% of what it used to be, like the progression, like time. It's in my head, dude. It's Throne of Liberty. Yes, Throne of Liberty. Okay. They went with the hard MMORPG feel, and it looks fun and exciting, and the combat, again, their trailers had combat in it, and it looks a lot of fun. So I'm probably going to play that one as well as soon as it's global. Can't play the Korean version because it's locked behind you need a Korean cell phone number. So anyways, thank you guys for listening this long. I hope this, shredded some light on the Nightcrows and the Legends of Ymir. They're both made by WeMade, but they're made by different development sectors, companies, like different people made these games, and you can tell the huge differences, and the trailers speak enough of what to expect. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like. If you're not subscribed yet, why? It's free, man. Hit the subscribe already. It helps me out a ton. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick boom. You blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stack